is good, y'all? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we are going to be doing the MyTEAM awards for Season 6 Zero Gravity. Now, what does this mean? Basically, guys, going to be talking about the most valuable player, defensive player of the season, the most overrated player. Going to be talking about, the all diamond, pink diamond, opal, and all dark matter team as well. So, if you were involved in Season 6, I mean, this is basically a summary of Season 6. If you weren't involved, guys, this video can help you out and, decide who to, add, who to get rid of for your squad as well. Now, before we dive any further into that, guys, if you are new to my channel and have not yet, make sure to smash that subscribe button as we are on the road towards 100,000 subscribers. We're going to start off the award ceremony with the cheesiest card of Season 6, starting with Yao Ming. Now, first of all, Yao Ming's great on both current gen and next gen. 7'6", great release. Combine all that, guys, with the fact that he's decently fast and one of the best defenders in the game. Yao Ming is single-handedly the best center in the game, and I don't even think it's particularly close. Richard Jefferson up next for a small forward shooting guard is absolutely elite. Can dribble really solid, basically a J.R. Smith clone, and he was free. So we can't forget about, a free card that definitely deserves his respect. Ben Simmons, a 6'11" point guard. Talk about cheese, you gotta mention Ben Simmons. Just one of those things for today's game. I mean, we got Denny, who's 6'9", basically looks 7 feet on the court to kind of counter that. So, I mean, the cheese factor for today isn't nearly what it was when he first came out. To me, guys, I don't think it's close. The cheesiest and best player that we just looked at was the dark matter Yao Ming. Next up, the defensive player of the season. We gotta start with Diamond Robert Covington. Now, you guys are gonna be like, Ty, this is biased, whatever else. Okay. Tell me he's biased. Tell me he's biased, but he's 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan, has every defensive badge you need, moves very well, and Roko's defensive animations are strictly the only ones Roko gets. Ben Simmons up next, 6'11" at the point guard position. What more is there to say? And then Wilt Chamberlain at the 4. Why is Wilt Chamberlain on this list? Well, he just gets incredible rebound animations. His release isn't great, and his 3-ball is not great. But that doesn't matter because we're talking about the defensive end of the court. His player model ridiculous, great defensive stats. In my opinion, just a better Shaq on the defensive side of the court. To me, got to go with Ben Simmons. I mean, the dude is 6'11" with great defensive stats at that point guard position. Up next, the most overrated player. Okay, we got 3 cards here. Let's start with AK-47. I'm not here saying AK-47's bad, but if you think Andre Kirilenko is that much better than a guy like Draymond Green, or is better than a Draymond Green by a decent margin, you're just strictly wrong. And it's easy enough to say Andre Kirilenko gets hyped up because his name is Andre Kirilenko. It's that simple. If his name, let's say, randomly was Jaden McDaniels, he wouldn't get hyped up nearly to that same extent. Amari Stoudemire, I get it, the card can move, but outside of that, he is very mediocre and 100% not worth the lock. And I know people are spending $500K on the card, and I'm just sitting here like, are y'all crazy? $500K for not a top 5 power forward in the game is absolutely ridiculous. And Shaq, last but not least, is really good. And I will be the first to tell you guys that. But is Shaq as good as his price resembles? No, right? He's a power forward. Horrible release, okay? Can play center, obviously, but a horrible release. Obviously, stat-wise, perfect. Badge-wise, perfect. But until they give him a better release, I can't really be any higher on Shaq. So the most overrated, in my opinion, has to go to Amari Stoudemire, strictly because you'll never get that MT back, and Amari's not even a top 5 power forward in the game. Next up, the most underrated award, D'Angelo Russell starting it off, 20,000 MT. For a great point guard that can play great defense, 6'5", release-wise is very solid, movement-wise is just solid. Who's my point guard on my know when he spent all season long? Who led me to the other side of our most underrated, and Bob Nedelecki, a card who's 6'9", that I don't think it's talked about as much because he is an unlimited reward. But let's not forget, okay, the cards got set shot 25. When the card first got released, I really wasn't sure what set shot 25 was or how good it was. But here's the deal, guys. Now I know set shot 25 is extremely good. Maybe the quickest release in the game. And again, I think Bob is a top 2 or 3 power forward in the entire game. Last but not least, Robert Covington. Again, I think he is so underrated. Can play on any squad in the entire game. Doesn't matter how good it is. And remember, he was free. Most underrated has to go to Robert Covington just because he's a diamond card and can compete at the highest level. Next up, guys, we got the best token reward. Now, Gonna start off by saying Ron Harper, Eddie Johnson. Neither of those cards are horrible in my team. Now, are they great? I think Eddie Johnson's pretty solid. Ron Harper's not a card I use. But let's be honest with ourselves here. Neither of those guys are anything in comparison to Dark Matter Dikembe Mutombo. And I'm not trying to sit here and gas Dikembe, but he's a center that can compete at any level. I don't like him as much as like KP or Kareem, but he is that level of good at that center position. And so when it comes down to the best token reward, by far and away, it is Dikembe Mutombo. Budget MVP. Now, there are a lot of other options you could have chosen from this. From, Shane Battier of the world, to some other guys. Boban, for example, could have been on this. Now, budget MVP to me resembles the best, the most valuable player for, under 5,000 or less, for example. Now, Denny, the cheapest option, 1,000 MT. What more do you need to say? Fundamental dribble styles, got the Kobe sides of escape, 1,000 MT, 6'9" at the point guard position. He's absolutely elite for his price. Kaminga up next, the come bucket in 2K. Okay, guys, at the small forward position, just going to hold it down. I think he's really, really solid, especially on the defensive end of the court. But he does have that Giannis base on very quick. And then Jeff Green, the newest card to all of these guys, is released. Is really what makes the card. But he can move with quick dribble style, and he is very solid on defense as well. To me, though, it's really not even a debate. Denny is by far and away the budget MVP of Season 6 of my team. Mr. Inconsistent up next, we got Wilt, Shaq, and Jermaine O'Neal. Now, for Wilt and Shaq, it's kind of the same thing. It's shooting-wise. For Wilt, he doesn't have that great of a three ball, so if you don't green, if it's one of those days in which you're not greening, Wilt's not knocking down shots. But on the flip side of it, Wilt has one of those releases that if you find the timing, he is an absolute green machine. Shaquille O'Neal, same boat. But for Shaq, I feel like I never green with the card. And it's a matter of, is Shaq gonna make the white, or is it a day in which I don't get the whites to go for Shaq? That's really what it is for me and Shaq. Again, both of those cards are extremely inconsistent for me. And last but not least is Jermaine O'Neal. For Jermaine, his release is one of those, if you find the timing, it's easy to green, but it's such a quick release, and I shoot a lot of slightly lates with Jermaine O'Neal. That's why I'm inconsistent with him. Again, some days I think Jermaine's better than Jack Sigma, Dino Raja, and then other days it's like, this guy's not even on the same level. So these three nominated for most consistent, but I think I gotta go with Shaq because he has just got a really baited and a really bad release in my team. The MVP of Season 6 goes to the best and most valuable player of the season. Now, I would say I don't think any of these three cards are the best player in the game. I'd go MJ or Luka, but neither of those cards did get released this season. So we got Yao, obviously 7'6" giant. We got Scottie Pippen, who, obviously for Scottie Pippen is an invincible card at that shooting guard position, who I'm higher on than anybody else. And then we got Kristaps Porzingis. Now, why is Kristaps on this list when we already got Yao? It's because some people probably prefer Kristaps to Yao, and I do think Kristaps is a top 2 center in the game. To me, though, it's no debate. I think Yao Ming is by far and away the most valuable player we got all season long. If you're looking for a guy to make an impact for you, I'd look no further than Yao Ming. Now we got our teams, the all-diamond team, Denny Adia. Then we got Robert, Covington, Kawhi, Leonard. The power forward position was really weak. Kenyon Martin Jr. held it down there, and then Boban at that center position. Now, I really did want to get Mike Dunleavy involved with the all-diamond team, but there just really wasn't a spot to replace him. I think Kawhi and Covington are both better than him. Next up, the all-pink diamond team. We got Caruso at the 1, Wiggins at the 2, Jeff Green at the 3, Thon at the 4 with James Wiseman at the 5. Again, guys, if you want to argue Shane Battier in here, I'm fine with that. The come bucket, I'm fine with that. But this is the lineup I think I would run if I was trying to make a lineup of the best pink diamond players in Season 6 that did get released. Next up, guys, we got the all opal team. Now, we started off with D'Lo at the point guard position, Kazi at the 2, Isaac at the 3, Sigma at the 4, and Dino at the 5. Now, an interesting fact about my all opal team, every one of these 5 guys played on my no money spent squad at some point this season. Now, I'm not saying that these 5 are, the best 5 that you can have for budget value, right? But you look at the all pink diamond team, I don't think any of these guys did play on the no money spent. Maybe Thon did for a little bit. But the all opal team, each and every one of these 5 guys did play. So just goes to show how many really good and solid opals we do have in my team. And last but certainly not least, the all dark matter team. Ben Simmons, Scottie Pippen, Richard Jefferson, Big Shaq, and Yao Ming. Power forward position was pretty tough. You can argue Wilt over Shaq. You can also make the argument for Bob Nedelecki. And I want to mention that because I really do like Mr. Nedelecki at the power forward position. But you go out there with this squad, I don't think the opponent's going to score. I mean, every one of these cards has 90 plus interior and is above 6'7". The average height here, you're looking at probably 6'11", I would say, for the average height. Just gets really cheesy really quickly when we're looking at our dark matter team. But when we go through all the awards, guys, look, MVP, you could have maybe argued Richard Jefferson in here. I guess I'm higher on Scottie Pippen than him. Inconsistent, we obviously decided for Shaq. Budget MVP, we went with Big Denny. Token reward, Big Dikembe. Underrated, Covington. Overrated, I took Amari Stoudemire, defensive player of the season. Obviously, Ben Simmons. Cheesiest player, we went with Yao Ming. So that is our Season 6 award ceremony. You know, we had to remove the Amy and Ruby team just because we didn't get enough players this season of that, but that is all okay. We also did have to remove the Evo award because I don't think we got any Evos this season as well. I want to know your thoughts on my Season 6 awards down below in the comments, guys. Is there anybody I missed out on? Let me know. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, man, I love you guys. And have a blessed day.